Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone is doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thank you guys for joining me on this Wednesday afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Really appreciate you all. Please, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate it really much because you know YouTube, it likes the algorithm and all that. So the algorithms are algorithmy and stuff. If that even is a word, algorithmy. Heard it here first, guys. Thank you so much. Guys, we'll be speaking about, obviously, the ANTONY deal. Where is ANTONY going? We've got news about Rashford, Garnacho, and links to a team I do not ever want to see Garnacho playing for. In fact, I don't want to see any of our Man United players playing for him, unless it's Mason Mount or someone like that, definitely, at the end of the day. But, guys, lots going on, including Ben Jacobs as just put out some news in regards to a new goalkeeper that Man United could be signing this summer. Of course, you know, Man United need a goalkeeper. According to some people, it should be the next priority after the striker. What do you guys think? Thank you so much, everyone who's joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Let me get through some of the comments. Of course, all you guys, MUSC Forever. How you doing, mate? How did you enjoy the game? Did you enjoy the game, MUSC Forever? Good to see you. Cornish, what's going on, my friend? Cornish Maid. How you doing? I do love a Cornish pastry, by the way. I haven't had a Cornish pastry in a very long time. It seems like years. Big up Cornish pastry. New subscriber. Thank you so much, my friend, for joining the channel. Welcome to the family, basically. And I hope you enjoy it. And spread the word. Thank you so much, Mr. Cornish, Mr. or Mrs. Cornish Pastry. Hope you do well. Daddy Dave. What's going on, Daddy Dave? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. I hope everything is good with you. Sanjay, good to see you, mate. Chippy, good to see you. Goodness me, you guys are making me hungry today. The Chippy, an old Chippy, chip shop chip. Have you ever had fat chips, chips hot chips? You haven't tasted chips hot chips until you tasted chips hot chips in the UK, of course. Big up British Bulldog. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. Big up everyone, of course. Big up everyone. Hope everything is fine with you guys, with y'all. Hope everything's good with y'all. Big up Tyborg, you legend. Good afternoon, Sal. Is it hard to negotiate with Spirit? How hard is it then now? It's hard to negotiate with Sporting Lisbon. Of course, that is not very good. I'm going to get into that as well. Good morning, Kazi. Hope you're all doing well. George, Muscle, what's going on, my friend? If hope you're doing well, mate. If we trade MLS for Ghana, then I'm up for the Arsenal move. There you go, guys. There you go. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Salt and vinegar chips, classic, Kazi. Goodness me. You don't get them like you get them in England. That's the thing. You don't get them like you get them in England. I'm in the UAE at the moment, so you can't get those chips. You get chips, but you get not chip chips. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Big up. It's Mrs. Cornish, actually, Melissa. Thank you so much, Mrs. Cornish. Thank you so much for joining me today. Mrs. My apologies if I've offended, but thank you so much for joining the channel. You absolute legend. Thank you very much. Guys, you know what? Guys, I don't want to see Garnacho going to Arsenal. That is not what I want. I don't want to see that picture ever again. I was forced to do a thumbnail with Garnacho on the thumbnail in an Arsenal flag, Emirates. Oh God, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. It was awful. It was awful. It was absolutely pathetic at the end of the day. I couldn't take it, you know. But I had to do it because we have to sell some players. Old Manchester United. It's not the be-all and end-all. We don't have to sell players to buy players. I know people are going to be coming on here. You know, those Ineos people. I know, look, you know, I know that we don't have to sell players to buy players. We've got up to 250 million of the FFP PSR, so we can get players in, and I hope we can get some players in by the start of next season. I know a lot of people are being a little bit pessimistic. I know there's a lot of negativity. I don't blame them. As I said earlier, I know that we've had 12 years of, obviously, letdowns, but I like to think that this new regime would get the deals done properly. Thank you so much, my friend Albie. What's going on, my friend? Thank you so much for joining the channel. Welcome to Stretford Post and welcome to the membership. Lots of great membership content coming to the channel very, very soon. You're not going to miss it. Great stuff coming, of course. Absolutely. Big up, Albie. Big up, my friend. Big up. Tyborg, hello. Big up, big up, big up. Hello, hi. Hello, hi. Hope everyone's doing well. Absolutely. I think I read that one. See, I'm going back in time. Way back into time. Yeah, big up. Corner, yep, read that one. LT, big up Sal. As much as I'm South African, I'm proud of Senegal as our first African team to beat England. My goodness me, that is a turn up for the books, wasn't it? You know, Tuchel, what I would say about LT, about Tuchel is in trouble, bruv. Tuchel is in trouble. I thought it couldn't get any worse than Southgate, but this is terrible. Luckily, I didn't do the watch along. I didn't do the watch along yesterday because you know what? I thought, you know what? England against Senegal. England beat Senegal in the World Cup. Remember, wasn't it 3-0? So I thought, yeah, it's just going to be an easy win for England. Little did I know, Senegal go out and they defeat England. Well, you know what? They got a lot of work to do, England. There's a lot of individual talent in the England squad, but England are not much of a team. That's the problem at the moment. They're not much of a team, but there is talent in there. And luckily, they got a wake-up call yesterday. They should have had the wake-up call against Andorra the other day. God forbid. I've done a watch-along Andorra, England. It was awful. But, it is, at the end of the day, a terrible result. One of the worst I've seen. I looked at the score and I thought, wow, 3-1 against Senegal. Crazy. Kenny, what's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. Liverpool fans already giddy about words. Florian Wirtz, 10 goals and 27 appearances. 20, GA, isn't it? Is it 20 goals and assists in all competitions in the Bundesliga? Look, Florian Wirtz is a fabulous player. I'm not going to sit here and be like the other fans and say that, like they're talking about Gyökeres and things like that, how Gyökeres is such a poor player, rah, rah, rah. I'm not going to come on there and talk like that. What I'm going to say is that Florian Wirtz is a very good player. £150 million player? Hell no. Someone told me that Dominic Solanke went to Tottenham for 70 million. And people were talking about Gyökeres. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell? Goodness me. They twist the narratives. They shift the goalposts when it suits them. Do you know what I mean? This is the mad thing about it. But guys, in regards to Marcus Rashford, of course, wants to move to Barcelona. Barcelona only willing to do a loan move for Marcus Rashford. Manchester United don't want a loan move. Of course, we need the monies. Give me the monies. We need the money right now. Man United need money. We want the money. We want to get rid of these loans and stuff like that because it's not benefiting Man United at all. At the end of the day. It's not benefiting us at all. And also, in regards to Antony, Real Betis has come in with a cheeky offer for Antony with a loan deal, a small fee and a loan deal. Come on, Betis. Come on, mate. This is your long-lost child. Just sign in, for goodness sake. We got Sancho, whose long-lost family in Dortmund don't want to buy him. We've got Betis, whose family in Betis don't want to buy him. Buy him. Be kind. It's charitable. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, forget these loans. We're not accepting any loans. The good thing about Antony is that Antony's wanted by Leverkusen, Antony's wanted by Atletico de Madrid, and Antony is wanted by Leverkusen as well. So happy days. You know what I mean? Hopefully that happens. In regards to Garnacho, please, not Arsenal. Not Arsenal at all. Please, I don't want Arsenal. No way. You can give him to wherever you want, apart from Liverpool. You can give him to anyone you like, not Arsenal. I don't want him playing against Man United at the Emirates. I can just see it happening, my friend. I could just see it. I could see him having a man in a match performance. I can see him scoring a goal. I just got this bad feeling. When I saw the picture of Garnacho in an Arsenal top, I was like, my goodness me. That is not good. I felt an overwhelming feeling of dread. Scared, not scared, but anxiety. I didn't know where to ring my doctor because at the end of the day, I don't want him going to Arsenal. I would much rather him go to Napoli. I'd much rather him go to Leverkusen or wherever he's going to go. Juve, whoever he's going to go to. Please, Garnacho, if you're going to leave the club, I'm sad you're leaving the club. I never would have thought we'd be getting rid of our young players, but it's just the nature of the beast at the end of the day. If you don't fit into the system, you've been speaking out in the media, you're going to be on your bike, really, isn't it? Great players have left this football club, and that's about it. You know what I mean? That's what I would say about that. But Garnacho could be going to Arsenal, which is not a good thing, guys. It's not a good thing at the end of the day. But you know what? It is what it is. If he does go to Arsenal, we need to squeeze it. We need to squeeze it. We need to get at least 70 million because that is the Premier League tax. Because we get charged Premier League tax. So Garnacho should be charged Premier League tax. You know what I mean? We should be charging Premier League tax at the end of the day. Big up, Alan Boris. Thank you again for the membership. Good to see you, my friend. Seems like the situation between Gyökeres and is getting ugly. Yes. Tyborg, in regards to Gyökeres, there is news about him suing Sporting Lisbon. Now, look, I never wanted this to happen. I really didn't want this to happen because we have such a good was a relationship with Sporting Lisbon. We have a great relationship with Sporting Lisbon. I didn't want this to happen. I wanted it to go through smoothly. But then again, you have to look at things like that. They had a gentleman's agreement, and people know in this channel I've been talking about a gentleman's agreement for a very, very long time. And welcome to the party. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but. I would say that breaking the gentleman's agreement obviously has irritated Jokeres. Of course, I see it from both sides of the point, both sides of the spectrum. But at the end of the day, a gentleman's agreement a gentleman's agreement is an agreement at the end of the day. And it's about respect. That's what it's about. It's about respect. And Sporting Lisbon seem to have turned their back on that agreement. Probably thinking that we can get more money out of this, lads. What do we say about it? I just say that this deal will go through. It will be forced through. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go to Man United. All that's going to happen now, right, is that they're going to dig their heels in even further in the ground. But ultimately, he will leave Sporting Lisbon. He will leave Sporting Lisbon. Ultimately, that's what's going to happen because you cannot keep a disgruntled player. You cannot keep an unhappy player. That's just the nature of it. And what I would say is that I really wish he didn't have to go down this route. I really wish we didn't have to have this feeling of, guilt a little bit, because I do like Sporting Lisbon. I think we've had a very good record with them over the years since Cristiano Ronaldo, as we all know, even beyond that, and I would say that, it is an unfortunate situation that we're going in. A little bit like a little bit like ANTONY. When he left Ajax, we always had a great record with Ajax. We always had a good relationship with Ajax. We know Van der Sar very well and stuff like that. We always had a good relationship with Ajax as well. But we ended up sort of making that a little bit tense. That relationship. It was a little bit hostile now in regards to the way that ANTONY wanted to sue Ajax and stuff like that. And this is a thing we have to look out for. We have to look out for ANTONY and his suing business. You know what I mean? We have to look out for that as well, because he could quite easily turn around and say, I'm going to sue Man United if you don't get rid of me. Luckily, he's got a lot of teams who are in for him at the end of the day. But no loans in regards to Real Betis. If Arsenal want Garnacho, as much as it hurts me, they're going to have to pay the top dollar for him. They're going to have to pay top dollar. I'm sorry. He shouldn't have the choice. He shouldn't have the choice whether I want to go here, I want to go here. You say we've accepted an offer from whoever, like Napoli, and you're going to Napoli, right? That's it. Napoli would be great for him. Absolutely love it. Absolutely. I mean, obviously, I have great relationships with Napoli. People know me. I'm connected to Napoli. Cornish Maid, I'm sure I have seen that name on the other channels before. Welcome. Thank you so much, Cornish Maid, for joining. Very good to have you on board, my friend, and really good to see you. Thank you so much for enjoying the content and watching the content. Really, really appreciate that. Kazi, Liverpool getting giddy over £150 injury-prone player. Kazi, you know what? At the end of the day, if this was Man United, if this was Man United, you know what would be going on right now, don't you? You know what would be going on right now. There will be bloody Netflix series about Man United paying 150 million for Florian Wirtz. There will be the lot, newspaper articles, posters on the wall, banners, you name it. People will be on This Morning show in England, by the way. This Morning show, talking about Man United's 150 million pound deal for Florian Wirtz. Is he really worth it? That's it. There you go. There's your headline there. Is he worth it? Is he worth it? I've got it now. Guys, I should be a reporter. Goodness me, I should be a reporter. I don't know how to do it. There you go. Praise me later. Absolutely. Cornish, never watched the guy, but everyone seems to be raving about Chevalier. I've never watched him either, Cornish. I'd be lying if I said I've been watching him intensively, sitting in a dark room watching him. I would be lying about that. But what I would say, I've been watching Senny Lamens. I've been watching, obviously I watched Donnarumma many times and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And with my Italian roots. Also, I've been watching, Emi Martinez. I've been watching him. Also, there's a goalkeeper that Manchester United could be about to trigger. We don't want any of that, but could be about to target. Now, this goalkeeper has been announced today by Ben Jacobs, good friend of the show, been on the show twice. As I said, big up Ben Jacobs, absolutely smashing it this year. Ben is smashing it this year. Big up, Ben. Look, so there is this one. So according to Ben Jacobs, Understand, Nice's Marcin Bolka is one of name on Manchester United's of potential goalkeepers. MUFC still determined whether to go for a number one. Andre Onana hasn't been informed. He's surplus to requirements, but it's an open situation. Emi Martinez also on United's radar, along with Atletico Madrid. Guys, what do you make of this? Marcin Bolka is the new name on the block. New kids on the block. Remember that? I'm old enough to remember. That Marcin Bolka is the name on everyone's lips. Well, not everyone's lips. Ben Jacobs' lips. But it is on everyone's lips at the moment, as I mention it, as I speak. But Marcin Bolka, another goalkeeper who Manchester United could be going for, guys. Could be going for Marcin. I mean, look. I mean, obviously, we've been scouting a new goalkeeper. It's pretty obvious because obviously a lot of news is coming out. I've seen a lot of news about Emi Martinez. As much as people don't think it's a priority, I do think a goalkeeper is a priority. The problem is, are we going to get enough time to get this goalkeeper deal over the line? Are we going to have enough time? Because we haven't got Embremo done yet. We haven't got Gyökeres done yet. And, you know, we need, obviously, to be fair, we need a right wing back. We need a midfielder. But after the striker situation, after Embremo and Gyökeres sign for Man United, because I'm pretty confident they will, I think the goalkeeper should be a next priority. I really do. Because it's already pretty evident that Ruben Amorim doesn't rate Mr. Marcin Bolka, of course. But not Marcin Bolka, Mr. Onana, of course, guys. Absolutely. He doesn't rate Onana. No. Cornish. Big up Tyborg, big up Cornish. Absolutely big up you, my friends. Absolutely. Nice to know you. Nice to meet you. There you go. We've been all around the world, each one of us in this community. We've been every single four corners of the world. We've been to many places, and we're here right now together. All the links like that. Do you know what I mean? There you go. That is meant to be. It's meant to be. Natty, keep up the same energy when United sign big money bias. Yeah, this is the thing, though, isn't it, Natty? This is the thing with, obviously, Liverpool. Not only Liverpool, other teams as well. Chelsea have signed, obviously, Delap. Delap is getting 200 bags a week. Why is the energy not there? Why is that energy? I wonder. It's not a British thing, guys. It's not just that, okay? That's something else. I just think this is firmly a Manchester United, anti-Manchester United bias. That's what I think it is. I think these people don't like Manchester United. It's as simple as that. They want to see us burn. That's what they want. They don't like Man United. These media outlets, look, I cannot fathom how it would be if Manchester United became successful. You know what I mean? I would worry about TalkSport. I would worry about Simon Swallow a Dictionary, Jordan. You know, I would worry about him. I would worry about Martin Keown. I would worry about these people. I would be sending, constant communications to them to see if they're right, if Man United are successful, because I can only imagine what they're going to talk about. They're going to have to swallow their pride, not only a dictionary, but also swallow their pride, and say that Man United are doing well. I really hope we get back, because it will be sweet. Honestly, for me, it will be an absolute beautiful thing. It'll be sweet. I would love it. I would enjoy it, and I hope we get back. I really do, guys. We'd really appreciate that, Man United. So come on, let's get back. Thank God you didn't do that watch along, Kenny. I wouldn't have been doing anything, to be honest with you. I'm not too fussed about England, even though I am English. I wouldn't be too fussed about England, but I would have been annoyed, watching that game. England have a number of problems. Someone told me a long time ago. When I was talking, it was literally like 20 years ago, said the problem with England is that they can't play continental football. And it stuck with me. And I think that England can't play continental football. What's continental football? Continental football is football that, like you keep the ball, you're tactically aware, you're very technical. You keep this is exactly what Spain do and Portugal and teams like that. England are a moment team that can make things happen. When the going gets when it's like the group stage or the quarterfinals maybe, but when it gets to the semi, they give up, they bottle it, And there is obviously a mental block with them. But that did remind me, that game last night did remind me of a game against Australia. I can't remember who was the manager, but Australia beat England 3-1. At Upton Park. I don't know if you remember it, but Wayne Rooney scored. If I'm not wrong, was it Wayne Rooney's first goal? Was it? If I'm not wrong. But Wayne Rooney scored in that game and they beat England 3-1, Australia. So that could be the moment that Tuchel thinks, whoa, you know what I mean? This is going to be a much more tougher job than I expected. And it is, because it's not easy. You know what I mean? The England job is not easy. There's a lot of pressure. But it's quite obvious that this team were not up for the task yesterday. They were not ready. Senegal were. Natty, keep the same energy with Liverpool, sign big money. Absolutely, mate. Yep. I get you, brother. Kenny, maybe I haven't seen enough of him, but I don't think he's a £100 million player and overrated by me, great, because he's going to a very stable team. He might do well, absolutely, LT, because he is going to a stable team, but 150 million, well, I don't think so. Absolutely not. England are awful at the moment. Yeah, they're not a team. They're definitely not a team. Absolutely not a team at the moment. Definitely not. Danny B, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you, my friend. I think Tutor is trying to fix the mess with Southgate left. Maybe he give him some time. You don't get time international level, Kenny. Southgate never had a result as bad as that. You know, I would say that right now. He never lost 3-1 to Senegal. You know, he beat Senegal in the World Cup 3-0. You know what I mean? You got the good enough players there just to put a team together. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think... I never rated Tuchel. I say it like that. I think he fluked out the COVID Champions League. I'd never rated him that much, but it is what it is at the moment. England needed someone like a Jurgen Klopp, someone like that, you know, who worked to their strengths. I don't think Tuchel works to match England's strengths, you know. And the substitutions were very odd yesterday. The team selection was very odd as well, you know. Weird, but we'll have to wait and see. Big up, Stephanie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, Wirtz is a good player without a shadow of doubt, but he is not worth that money. Nope. That is $1 million question. No one is worth that money, Kenny. Absolutely. Wirtz, Tyberg will tell you that. He's German. Wirtz, 10 goals, but also a lot of assists, 10 assists, Tyberg. He will be a great addition to already a very good team. Hate to say it, but Liverpool overpaid. They got a great player. They drastically overpaid. And we're going to put pressure on them, Tyberg. You know, we're going to put pressure on Wirtz, just like they put pressure on your carers. You know, he's playing in the Bundesliga. No offense, you know, and it's if this was your carers, people were going absolutely crazy. Your carers scored 49 goals, by the way, you know, and obviously Mbeumo scored 20 goals in the Premier League. You know, Cunha scored 15 goals in the Premier League. So obviously we're gonna question that. You know, do I think he's good enough? No, I think he's a little bit overrated. I'm sorry. I think he is. Knowing the German players that I've known in my lifetime, I think he's a little bit, well, he's good. He's the best of a bad bunch kind of thing. You know, I think he's all right. He's a 60, 70 million pound player. That's what I would say, you know. And when we look at things in a critical point of view, and we look at the likes of Garnacho, let's say Garnacho, right? How many goals and assists would Garnacho get in Bundesliga? Be honest, guys. Right? Be honest. How many goals and assists were Garnacho getting in the Bundesliga? But the one thing is, he will improve Liverpool. Absolutely. He's a good player. Not as good as people think, but he's a good player. But they are a settled team, you know, and that is the thing, you know, and he will improve them. He will improve their squad. But Liverpool are the champions. So if Liverpool don't win the league, they better be winning the league next year. They better be winning the league next year, because if they don't win the league, we're going to be ready for that. You know what I mean? We'll be waiting for that, guys. That 150 million mistake. We'll be there. We'll be there. Don't worry about it. I laugh if Man United win the league. That'd be funny. Big up, Kenny. Garnacho to Leverkusen is definitely, I hope now, since that works still, it is. They've got money now. They can't complain. They've got to pay top dollar. Joseph, what's going on, my friend? Are we doing well? Other clubs are cooking in signing. Man City has already spent 200 million. 380, Joseph, since January. 380 million since January. 4 players, and Liverpool got worked, which is the biggest sign at EPL and Bundesliga. Yeah. Look, we all knew what was going to happen, Joseph, didn't we? I sound like a broken record in regards to this. Is that we wanted a full sale. We wanted the Glazers out. And unfortunately, we didn't get that because obviously Jim Ratcliffe facilitated the Glazers. I don't think we're going to get that anytime soon. But what we have to do as Manchester United fans, we can't. Everyone does their things differently. I know that over the last 13 years that it's been a lot of negativity. They haven't given us any reason to believe that we're going to get any better in regards to the transfers. I believe, though, in fairness to Ineos, they did it right in the first summer. Right? They did it right last summer. As the first summer, I think they did it right. They've got a lot to do this summer, not only in the incomings, in the outgoings as well. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. We're in absolute shambles at the moment. And this is why Man United needed a complete reset and a full sale. This is exactly why, because of the work that needs to be done. I don't quite think Jim Ratcliffe and co. quite understood the magnitude of how much work needs to be done at Manchester United. It needed, look, guys, we didn't enter an environment of the Premier League where we needed a sugar daddy. It was the other teams that made it a requirement, not us, you know. But at the end of the day, that's what you need these days. You need a billionaire. But my question would be, Jim Ratcliffe, as it confirmed, I mean, I've been speaking about it for the last few months. Jim Ratcliffe was going to buy Chelsea for $5 billion, right? Where did $4 billion go? You know, he was going to buy Chelsea for $5 billion. Where did that $4 billion go? Where did it go? You know, because at the end of the day, because he could have spent that on Manchester United. Now, people are saying, oh, he's spending Man United. He's not spending anything. He's spending Man United money. That's what he's doing. He's not spending his own money. He's spending Man United money. You know, but at the end of the day, he has put in $1 billion, which has probably been eaten up by the Glazers and put into the debt. You know, but we need a complete revamp of that football team. You know, a complete rebuild. And that includes ins and outs. Zubi is coming to who? Elizabeth, big up Elizabeth. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Zubi's going to Arsenal. Zubi dooby doo. Where are you? Liverpool is still singing that. They're still searching. He's not going to Liverpool. That's for sure. Absolutely. Natty, Ten Hag, do us a favor for us. Now you have the money. Ten Hag's not going to do us any favors. I guarantee you right now, Ten Hag, he's going to go, He's going to go, Anana, Flecken. No, Flecken, Flecken. He's not going to get Mason Mount, eh? Nah, he's not getting anything. He's not going out. Nah. He's at Man United. No, not today. Absolutely no. I'm going after my own players. Those players have done it for me. I've had enough of them. Kazi, for some reason, I've got a sneaky feeling that Chelsea might swoop for Gyökeres. Kazi, you know what I would say, brother? You know what I would say is that anything is possible, mate. You know, if we wait, and because by the sounds of things, we're going to be waiting until January the 1st, where the financial year starts. We're going to be waiting until then. If we wait until then, you know, you snooze, you lose, isn't it? It's a bit like what happened with Quenda. And everyone knows how high on the list Quenda was, Giovanni Quenda. And he's gone to Chelsea, you know? So that is quite devastating. You know, we got a lot of work to do, guys. We got a lot of work to do. And this is what worries me. But I'm not completely worried at the moment. As I said, I'll start worrying when it gets to the end of June. The 16th of June is when the window opens. I think we can be a little bit more zealous then. And hopefully something happens. I firmly believe that the Bremo deal's done. What I'm hearing, the deal is done. What I'm hearing, the deal with Gyökeres, as I stated months ago, is a gentleman's agreement, and they've broken the gentleman's agreement. So what happens in regards to that? That could get messy. Could Man United go after Osimhen or Mateta instead? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this could get really messy. But, you know, what will happen is that he probably will go to Man United in the end, but they're not going to make it easy for us now. It ain't our fault at the end of the day. It's not our fault. They broke a gentleman's agreement, is it? You know? Kelty, did you hear Rio Ferdinand talking about Gyökeres, saying he has his physicality? And when I heard that, I was like, mate, if you want Osimhen, just say so. No need to slag off Gyökeres. Look, mate, you know, tell me you don't know football without telling me you don't know football. One thing I've learned in life, and I've spoken to many, many footballers around, in my lifetime. You know, one thing I've learned in life, right, is that a lot of footballers don't really know football. I know it sounds strange. I know it sounds ridiculous, but they don't. The thing is, the difference between players like Rio Ferdinand, ex-pros and stuff like that, and us, is that we actually consume a lot of football. We watch every single Manchester United game, right? Not only that, we watch the Champions League, we watch other teams as well. We all know that Gyökeres is a great player. Gyökeres, who scored a hat-trick against Man City in the Champions League, is it that Gyökeres they're talking about? Just physicality? He's got some of the best finishing I've seen, since Ruud van Nistelrooy. And I'm honest to God, this guy can score goals. Look here. Look, if Gyökeres scored 15 goals for Sporting Lisbon in 30-odd appearances, like Sesko, okay? Like Sesko, or 10 goals in 27 appearances, like Wirtz, right? Then I would understand that, you know what? He's not scored that many goals. But when you look at goals like 49 goals, you know, that's when you know that player has something. The goal is the same. As I said, the goal is the same. Wherever you go, the goal is the same size, right? So when Gyökeres is scoring 49 goals, not only in the Portuguese league, but also in the Champions League, that's when you have to say, well, this is a good player because he's doing it against good opposition. You know? Put him in front of Mbeumo and Cunha. We're going to see something next season. And you know what? You know what the funniest thing in the world is going to be, LT, bro? You know what the funny thing is going to be? Is that watch what Rio Ferdinand. Remember this, guys. Rio Ferdinand's going to turn. He's going to turn. Watch him. Watch him. Gyökeres to start scoring goals. Watch Rio Ferdinand. I told you, bruv. I told you, bruv. I told you, bruv. I told you he's cooking. That's what he does. That's what he does. I bet he does something like that. Watch it. Watch. Wait, he's gonna forget about what he said a few weeks before. Just like when he said, "Oh yeah, guitar coming tomorrow, bruv." Spoke to him on the phone, bruv. Tomorrow, it's coming tomorrow. Know what I mean? Big up Kazi. Same Rio that said Gyökeres was unstoppable when Amram signing Rio flops more than a salmon. big up Sally B. Absolutely, mate. It's true. It's just this flip-flop nature, man. Flip-flop. Like a salmon out of water. Banditbot put out a fantastic futuristic vid on the new Old Trafford. Good watch. Chippy, I'll check it out. I haven't checked it out yet. I haven't checked it out. Big up Chippy, by the way. I said it about Bolka on here last week, if you remember, Sal. Yes, I do remember Danny B, but Danny B's a secret agent, mate. Secret agent. That's what he is. Secret agent Danny B. Big up Danny B. Based all over the world. Big up Hello Ellen. Big up my friend Bulky Bolka. There you go. Burka Bolka. No, definitely let's not go there. Absolutely. He has only 1 year left on his contract. Yeah, so he'd be cheaper, wouldn't he? Chelsea got Enzo for 120 million or something, but nobody talks about how Enzo has been average at Chelsea. Let's be real about it. Enzo has been average at Chelsea. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm not hating because I like to tell the truth. Nothing but the truth. You can't handle the truth, Jack Nicholson. Look, you know what? I like to tell the truth, and I believe that, you know what? He's been poor. In my humbles of humble. Headbutt for Mike for a like. Thank you so much, Chippy. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the stream, my friend. Good to see you. Tybog, buying a goalkeeper is almost as important as buying a striker. Those three score a lot, but what's it worth when we can Zanana and score mess every game and it would do it? He always does. Tybog, I hate to bring the bearer of negativity, and me and Tybog are very positive. Last season we suffered a lot, but yet we try to remain positive, right? I'm thinking of Mbeumo, Gyökeres, and Cunha. They're not going to score 5 goals every single game. I had a vision of Man United being 1-0 up against Everton at home or Bournemouth at home, something like that, or away from home. 1-0 up, 92 minutes, right? Free kick, Man United misses a whole host of chances. Free kick comes in, out comes Onana, misses the ball, for open net, headed into the goal, 1-1, right? That's what I keep thinking about, you know, because there is no substitute for a good goalkeeper. You know, Man United have prided themselves on good goalkeepers over with obviously Van der Sar, obviously Peter Schmeichel, then obviously David De Gea. Onana's not a good goalkeeper. Onana is not. I've seen better goalkeepers in League One, and I'm not. I know a lot about League One, guys. I lived next to a League One stadium my whole bloody life, Leighton, right? And I would say that he is a League One goalkeeper, and that sounds harsh. But he is. Put him in League One. See what happens. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, you know, we need a new goalkeeper. And I think, like, if we get these strikers, we need to hurry up and just get that goalkeeper situation sorted out, whoever it is. Obviously, we've got Vitek. Kova, of course, we can get for cheap as well from Bayer Leverkusen as well. So, hopefully, you can have something happens, of course. Chelsea side bought Enzo 106 million. Caicedo 100 million. No one said anything, And Kazi, how long did it take for Caicedo to start getting into the groove? How long did it take him to start playing well? Exactly, Kazi. You know what I mean? How much money have they spent? 380 million Man City have spent in under a year, 6 months. 380 million. Nobody's talking about that. Just like nobody talks about Jack Grealish, the flop. You know what I mean? It just annoys me, you know, that as soon as Man United sign a £60 million player who has 49 goals this season, right? it's the wrong signing. He's not good enough. Beggars belief, doesn't it? Tulip. I Sal, Anthony has to be an obligation, not an option. We need permanent sales. Same with Rashi and Freedom. Absolutely, Tulip. I think Freedom will be difficult, Tulip, to get rid of. I think he's going to be the most difficult to get rid of. I don't think these teams are stupid. I do think that they know about his attitude. And I think many teams just want to stay well away from Sancho. In regards to Rashford, it depends on his openness and his open-mindedness in regards to moving away from this Barcelona dream. I call it a pipe dream. You know, that is what it is. He does need a reality check. Rashford, he does. He's not going to Barcelona to play. You got Pedri, you got Rafinha. You've also got Lewandowski, and you've also got Lamine Yamal. You're not going to Barcelona to play Rashford, bruv. Let me be honest. So what Rashford needs to do is open his mind, broaden his horizons, and go somewhere else, right? That's going to be difficult. In regards to Anthony won't be difficult. As much as Betis want to try and get Anthony, it's not going to happen. We're going to take money from him. Other teams want him, including Leverkusen, including Atletico Madrid. Juve are interested as well. So that is obviously an important thing that we don't need to abide by what Betis want. You're not going to pay the money, Betis. Step aside, let someone else buy him, because we're done with that. That's charity work, you know? In regards to Rack taking it back to Sancho, I do believe that Sancho's going to run down his contract. I think that Sancho will run down his contract. I believe he will run it down, sadly. And what will we do? What can we do? This is the problem with these players these days. You know, they always got the power, haven't they? You know, this power needs to be taken away from them. Too rich, too soon. Stop making idiots famous and rich. That's what I would say. Tulip, England lack the passing tempo and volume needed. I agree, Tulip. And at the end of the day, I would say, Tulip, is that England can't play continental football. They can't play that passing, tiki-taka sort of football that you need that's at this level. They can't do that. Sadly, you know, as a guy who is English, yeah, I want them to do well. You know, born in England, but I want them to do well. But I just don't think they have. I think England, right? And I'm gonna be controversial here. I think England need to get rid of Harry Kane and players like that. I'm sorry. I think they need to get rid of Harry Kane and players like that. I know he gets the odd tap in. I know that. But the end and penalties. But what England need to do as an overall, they need to look at the bigger picture here. They need to look at the bigger picture. They need to understand that you need to move away from something. Look, we're still playing Henderson, for goodness sake. You know? It's ridiculous. I mean, Henderson, you know? And that's the problem with England. Tuchel's got his work cut out, you know? But I think Spain all the way. Spain, France, anyone that goes above Spain and France is going to do something this World Cup. And don't watch out for Brazil, guys, on Ancelotti. Watch out for Brazil under Ancelotti. Going to be a mad thing. Mina, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you. Salam alaikum, Mina. Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you on the stream, Mina. Good to see you. Of course. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Mina. Big up, everyone. Of course, guys. Big up. It's good to see new faces on the stream on Stretford Post, of course. Danny B. Big up, Danny B. Tybog. For some reason, the name Bolka reminds me of an Eastern European cartoon character from the 70s. Bolka. It reminds me of something. I don't know where I've got it from. Bolka. There is a character somewhere. There's a character somewhere by the name of Bolka. You know, and I don't know what it is. I could be wrong. But there is. Tulip, see, Sal, I told you about Lamine Camara. Looked solid versus you. I told you, Tulip. I knew about Lamine Camara from a long time ago. Goodness me, you guys, you forget things, you know what I mean? Forgetful caterpillar. Do you know what I mean? Do you know there's a book called The Forgetful Caterpillar? You're the forgetful caterpillar, Tulip. Listen, I knew about Lamine Camara, but Man United are not in for him at the moment. Although we should be in for him. We should be in for Lamine Camara. Absolutely should. That is absolutely given, you know, but it doesn't look like we are at the moment. It would be cheaper than the likes of Adam Wharton and, you know, Baleba and players on that nature, you know. Dylan, Southgate is clear of Tuchel and now fans realise what they lost. I don't think any of them are good, Dylan. I'll be real with you, mate. I think England need an attacking coach. Gareth Southgate cost England 2 tournaments. As me, married to an Italian woman, right? Lady, should I say? At the end of the day, but married to an Italian woman. She said during that final at Wembley, This is the worst Italian team ever. Why and England not destroying them? Because England went 1-0 up and they still sat back. They sat back. They went 1-0 up and sat back. So a competent manager would have won against Italy, right? So Southgate's cost us a lot, but none of them are good. I didn't like Southgate. I don't like Tuchel. There's not just two managers in the whole world. You know, there are other managers that England could have went for. I actually think that Carson is better than Bradley Tuchel. You know, look, I would say this, right? I would say that the perfect manager for England is someone like a Klopp, but they're never going to get Klopp. You know, it's someone like that. They need an attacking coach. Eddie Howe might have been okay. I just don't think Tuchel's the right guy. Ireland drew with Senegal over the weekend and should have beat them. England beat Ireland easily, so with Carson. Tulip, a German Southgate still selecting Hendo and Walker into that. I mean, this is where we go wrong, Tulip. This is exactly where England go wrong. Picking the same bloody players, the favoritism. Why do these players keep coming? Why do these players keep getting picked? Why? You know, if England are going to move on, they need to stop this nostalgia business. You know, this is what it is. You know, they got to move on and start playing different players now. There's plenty of players there, you know, that they can pick from, and they got to start picking the right players. Honestly, picking Henderson over Mainu? Come on. Like, Mainu got England to the Euros final. Do you know what I mean? It's disgrace. It's just disgrace. Smash the lights and subscribe. Big up, Natty. Yale. Injuries do plague whilst Liverpool can have gotten themselves £150 million short. There you go. Absolutely love it. English players that only care about tattoos and fancy hairstyles. Scott, fair play. Danny B, yo, Kenny, living in Boston, USA now, though, past 15 years, pal. Big up Boston. Big up Mark Wahlberg, all that business. Big up yourself. Absolutely. Bolka and Sole, as I told you last week, we need them cheap and quality players. Bolka linked today by Jacobs. Big up Ben Jacobs. Coming back on the show very soon, I hope, Morgan. I've been on here twice. Big up. Yeah, we all were aware of Bolka. We're all aware of loads of goalkeepers around Europe. He's just another goalkeeper that I linked to Man United. Would I do the deal? Hell yeah, I'll do the deal as well, of course. Daddy Dave. I think he is overrated and he's going to take time to adjust to the Prem. He won't hit the ground running. Hope I'm wrong. No, I hope I'm not wrong. That's to do with words, of course. I mean, it's hope, innit? It's hope. It's the hope that kills you. Saying about Bolka over 12 months, he should be looking at him. Big up Danny B. Guys, Francesco Camada. Look out for this player. Playing in the AC Milan reserves. I mentioned it a year ago. Guys, watch out for that player. Bolsa is also homegrown. 10 million. Wow. Get him, mate. Bloody get him. Sporting president just said they won't accept 60 to 10 million for Jokic. They just said they wouldn't accept 60 plus 10 million. Then what do we do, guys, Trina? What do we do? What do we do? Do we just twiddle our thumbs and leave it, or do we just try? They're gonna have to sell him eventually. They will. He's unhappy. No, they broke the agreement, didn't they? At the end of the day, they broke that little gentleman's agreement that they had, of course, which is when you break a gentleman's agreement, it's not very good on you, is it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not. You know, so sad as it is a sad case. It is a sad case. You know, it really is. Because I didn't want to fall out with Sporting Lisbon. Trina, United stand and other fan pages are reporting. Big up, Trina. Okay. Well, there's an element of truth. Surely not going to put all this cash in while Glazer's still in charge. The mind space. Then he shouldn't have took charge of the football club. Let someone else. If he can't do it. No, they won't because it doesn't fit their structure. Quenda, it fit their structure. That's why they bought him. He fits our structure as well, wing backs. Sporting president will be stuck with an unhappy player next season, I think, Trina. Do you think he's going to go? I think they'll be forced to sell him, mate. I really do. Shahid, Garnacho, which joining, it could be joined. A lot of interest with Arsenal, of course. Garnacho, which club joining? Garnacho is linked with Arsenal, Shahid. That's the story at the beginning on top of the show. My friend Tyborg, thank you so much for the super chat. Much love, my brother. Big up, man. Respect. Thank you, Tyber, for always supporting the channel. You're an absolute diamond, bruv. Thank you very much. Faisal, you're crazy. Emeram is going to mess up big time. Garnacho was tell the truth. He was only played 20 in the final, and everyone wants him, but If others does, it's fine. Goalkeepers. Let me tell you something about Manchester United, Faisal. Right? You don't air your dirty laundry in public. You don't go to the media and start talking about what you should or what you shouldn't. What you do, what you're supposed to do is, and I'm going to keep the same energy as I had with Rashford, as I've had with Sancho. What you're supposed to do, right, is you're supposed to go to your manager face to face and say, why wasn't I playing? I played every game. I've never let you down. Sort it out with the manager. Why are you going to the media? No, look, it's incompetence, mate. It's incompetence. It's petulance. It's childish, you know, and it disrespects the badge of Manchester United. That's what it does. So you don't go to the media. You just don't. You signed your death warrant as soon as you've done that. And I've been a big fan of Garnacho over the years. People know me. I'm a fan of Garnacho. But the thing is, he's done it wrong. He's done something wrong. We have to admit that. Let's stop this blame game. Accountability is most important here, you know? Oops, I've just pushed all the way down. Let me see. Danny B. Volker is good at commanding his box, shot stopping, but not great with his feet. But he does it basics very well. Danny B, you know what I would like? I would much rather a goalkeeper than a ball-playing goalkeeper. You know what I mean? I'd much rather a goalkeeper right now that saves shots and can actually catch the ball. That's what I'm talking about. Because at the moment, we've got a goalkeeper who can't catch a beach ball. You know, so we need a goalkeeper who can actually catch the ball and can actually have a positive influence on the team. You know, a bad goalkeeper, it adds anxiety, indecision, stuff like that, doesn't it? So I would say that get a goalkeeper who can actually save, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. You know, I would say that. Absolutely. Faisal, his Amram is on the players that speak the truth. The goalkeeper is bigger problem, but he'll keep him watch. Speak the truth face to face. That's what you do. Professionalism. Absolutely. Sancho should be hard to get rid of. 330. He's the hardest, Kenny. He's going to be the hardest to get rid of, bruv. What I would say is that Sancho, no one's going to want him. People know about his petulance. People know what he's doing. And when players do this is another thing. When players go on the media and they start airing their dirty laundry in the media, other teams see that. You know, other teams see that and they see like, oh, he's a bit of a problem, isn't he? He's a bit of a problem, this guy. Are we going to sign him and he's going to do the same to us? You know, it's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, leopards will never change their spots. Spots will never change leopards, of course not. But yeah, leopards will never change their spots, of course. Faisal, rubbish, mate. Amram wants to get rid of the wrong mentality, and if thinks Garner is a problem, he has my full support. Tyborg, I agree with that. Sorry, Faisal, but that's true. You know, at the end of the day, what you have to look at is attitude here. You have to look at attitude. If we want Manchester United to be a successful football team, we need to get rid of the disruptions within that football team. If Ruben Amorim thinks that Garnacho is a disruptive influence within that team, we have to get rid of them. It doesn't matter if they're favourites. I liked the Garnacho. Tyborg liked Garnacho. We all liked Garnacho. We backed him last season. But at the end of the day, he's done wrong. Accountability, as I said, and we need to move on from that and move him on. Sorry. Yeah, Kenny, he was not selling Sancho. He go on loan. Yeah, we're waiting one more year. He's going to get a big payout, isn't he, at the end of the day? Kenny, I think Spain will win the World Cup. Brazil is a dark horse. I agree with that, Kenny. I agree with that. Let's wait and see what happens. Germany as well. Would you take 35 million for Antony? Absolutely. 40 minimum. 40 million. That's what I would take. I would, Sanjay, 100% a huge loss, but he has found no future at United. Yeah. Sadly, but it's just the way life is. Sporting's president is moving crazy. I think what's going on with Sporting's president is a little bit of an ego trip going on at the moment. You know, with these egotistical people, you know, these ownerships and stuff like that. You know, obviously he's got a lot of power and he feels let down. He feels embarrassed by what Gyökeres has done, and I don't blame him for that. It's pride. They're a very respected football club in Portugal and worldwide, Sporting Lisbon. So obviously he's going to be a little bit down about that. He's going to be a little bit upset about that, you know, what Gyökeres did, which is obviously want to go to Manchester United. You know, he's broken a gentleman's agreement though, you know, and when you shake on something, you honor that. You honor that. It just says more about you as a person if you cannot honor that agreement. And that's one thing I would say in Gyökeres' court. Gyökeres hasn't gone out in the media and started screaming and shouting. He's been linked with clubs all around the world. He's never gone to the media and started saying, I want to go to this, I want to do this. I mean, Bremo did, you know what I mean? And Bremo did that. This is why it upset Brentford, So this is what happens, isn't it? So I think that they're being totally out of order in regards to Gyökeres, and I think Gyökeres will sue. That's what I think is going to happen. Absolutely, Kenny. Big up. My missus is Italian too, Sal. New Jersey Italian, though. New Jersey Italian. Big up, Danny B. Big up. I'm like the United Nations. I'm so mixed. It's ridiculous. Absolutely. If you knew where I was from, absolutely. You know what I mean? East London, originally. Sporting president is like, yeah, I want all the smoke and all that money. He's going to lose this one, gamer. Player always wins. He's going to lose this one. You know what I mean? And he might have to sell cheaply. Most of the players want a World Cup football. If they don't move, put them in the reserves. They will be fighting to take pay cuts and move in January. It's true. It's true, Mark. Good point. Danny, Sancho is the worst signing in our history, in my opinion. I agree with you, Danny. I agree, People are telling me about Sanchez and stuff like that, and Mason Mount. I think it is Sancho with the all-round package. With the all-round package, it's all about the package. You know what I mean? Signed, sealed, delivered. Stevie Wonder when we were signing him. Do you know what I mean? Blind. I was a big admirer of Jadon Sancho. I really was. And people know me. They can scroll back to my Twitter feeds and stuff like that. How much I wanted Sancho. How much I like Sancho. And unfortunately let me down, as he's let a lot of people down. And I tend to agree with that, Danny, that he is probably the worst signing since I've been supporting Man United since the 80s, late 80s. You know what I mean? He's the worst signing for me. Yeah, in regards to the price, the package, the problems, and all that in between. Mark, the game before the final, Garnacho came on v Chelsea, 69 minutes, and they scored 1 minute later with them not tracking back, and we lost 1-0. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was at the end of the season. A1N, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Update on Bremo, nothing at the moment. I spoke earlier on about Man United is still trying to iron out the finer details of the deal. It will be completed, however, next week sometime because the window opens on the 16th of June. So Man United are not doing any business at the moment. However, there can be a here we go. There can be an agreement verbally. You know what I mean? There can be, but I can't foresee anything happening before Monday. I really can't. And you know what? This is obviously Man United are getting messy this window. We're getting very messy this window. A lot of things are going on that I didn't want to happen, of course, because I wanted it to be smooth sailing. It started off good, but obviously it has gone missing somewhat, of course. Gamer TV, I agree with you, Sal. I hope everything works out for Sporting and Gyökeres. Me too, mate. I do, because I don't want... Look, guys, people know about our relationship with Sporting Lisbon. It's one of the best, and we're going to fall out with them, just like we fell out of Ajax. Honestly, we should just purchase Sporting once and for all. Gamer, you remember when we had a partnership with Royal Antwerp in Belgium? Do you remember that? We had a partnership with them. And we sent off, I think it was Luke Chadwick. We sent off Luke Chadwick there and stuff like that, Danny B, my brother lived a couple of blocks behind the old Upton Park. I know East London, pal. I used to work in Upton Park near East Ham, Barking Road and East Ham Central. I worked, in the job centre. I worked in there a couple of times. I'm from Leighton, it's the Leighton Orient. I am basically an East Ender through and through. Leytonstone, like David Beckham. That's where I was born. Same hospital, same everything. I'm from the same place as him. Absolutely. East End till I die, of course, except for Manchester United, which I love very, very much. I don't want their Cockney Red coming out anywhere, coming out of the woodwork and stuff like that and telling me, rah, 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 Absolutely. But, guys, you know what? I just hope it works out this summer. Obviously, we got a little bit of a break. So my suggestion would be is that rumours will be still circulating around Man United, just like today with Bolka. Things will be coming out that Man United will still be doing. Because this little break here, people are not going to be breaking. Things are still going to happen. Great place in the 90s, East Ham. Great place, East London in the 90s. Great place, London in the 90s, Danny B. If you knew London in the 90s, the vibe. The vibes were absolutely amazing musically. It was just everyone was just enjoying themselves, you know. It was a good vibe. And what was most important, Man United were successful. That is what was the most important thing. We were winning. I've seen 13 league titles, guys. 13. If someone told me in 2013 that we wouldn't win another Premier League trophy, we'd be still waiting for 21 in 2025, I would have laughed in their face. You know, it was a good time, buzzing, great time, of course. Things are just too serious now. I think that things are too, people are just, it's just different now in regards to people are more inclined to be impatient, you know, and hateful. You know, there's more hate now than ever. I've seen so much hate. I go on social media sometimes and I'm like, you know, my people are being hated every single day. You know, at the end of the day, people know my background, know what I'm talking about every single day. And, you know, I'm tired of it, to be honest with you. But big up Danny B for taking me down memory lane. We brought up the nostalgia, guys. We brought up the nostalgia. In regards to nostalgia, all we want, of course, is Manchester United to be successful again. That's what we want. A successful football team. And I believe in Ruben Amorim. I don't know about you guys, but I believe in Ruben Amorim. I think if Ruben Amorim is backed properly, he will surprise a lot of people. He really would. He really would. And I'm thinking next season there's going to be a huge surprise. I really do think that. And I'm putting my neck on the line here. I think we're going to do very well next year. I think we'll get top 4. You know. George Best, 007, far too many angry people out there, Sal. It's sad. There's too many angry people now, mate. Look, one thing I would say about everyone, and I'm not bloody, you know, Jerry Springer giving a last-minute talk and speech, but what I would say about people, right? We are born where we are born. We don't choose where we are born, right? People don't choose where they are born. People are born where they are born, right? Just because you live in England or you live somewhere else doesn't give you the right to be self-righteous and stuff like that and saying, this is my country, you get out of my country. At the end of the day, you know, you're just luck. You were just luck. You were born there, luck. You didn't earn your way to England like this with your sticks in the ground. I'm going to England. Me and my family, we're going to England. No, it didn't happen like that. I don't want to teach you about the birds and the bees, how it happened, but it didn't happen like that. Just love each other, man. Just love each other and be good to each other. That's the most important thing, guys, because at the end of the day, look, I'm not Mother Teresa, but what I would say is that, you know, just like I say about Man United, when I support Man United, I support Man United with love and passion, right? Because I love this football club, and I do. I support it with passion. I'm not always pessimistic. I give my criticisms. I criticize, and everyone has the right to criticize. But there's so many people that are angry these days. 6 months down the line, ball fraud, get him out my club. Peanut head, getting out my club. Portuguese fraud, get him out my club. In months. You know, so what we need to do, we need to be a little bit more patient and a little bit more patient with each other as well. Absolutely. Big up, Danny B, my friend. Big up, guys. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Everyone who joined me, absolutely. Looks like your carers to United will be very expensive. What is his clause? 100 million? No, it's not that. 60, 70 million, isn't it, around there? Big up, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day, great night, great evening, wherever you are in the world. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video if you can, guys. Tyberg, people are easily offended these days. Some are proud of their religion, nationality, country, and tend to belittle others. A bit more of tolerance wouldn't harm at all. Look, Tyberg, you know, what I would say, bro, is that I'm seeing a lot these days. And it's just, at the end of the day, what I would say, Tyborg, is that when you back someone into a corner, and this is what people are doing these days, they're backing people into a corner, you know, and expecting them not to bite, you know, and at the end of the day, tolerance is very important. And I don't know what's happened to England because this kind of died down in the 90s. We didn't really do that. It is a new thing going on. But you know what I would say is that, you know, just learn to accept people, you know, and understand that the world is no one's. The world doesn't belong to anyone at the end of the day, and that is what it is. And that's what I would say. Do you know what I mean? But guys, on that very beautiful note, Step, what's going on? Sal, we are here for a good time, not a long time. Absolutely. I lost my dad last week. He was a massive 50s Man United fan. In his 50s Man United fan. Used to take me Old Trafford in the late 80s and 90s. Be nice to each other, guys. Big up, Step. Lovely comment, my friend. Lovely comment. Lost my granddad this year, guys. Lost my granddad. You know, my wife had a very bad health scare, you know, in her heart, you know, young, fit. And these things happen, guys, you know, and this is why we have to enjoy each other, enjoy life, and stop the moaning and complaining and worrying and negativity and bitterness. You know, it's just ridiculous, isn't it, at the end of the day? Try to smile at someone today to be absolutely while she still got teeth. Absolutely. Maybe the handshake deal Gutierrez was made of Hugo was less sporting. Maybe. To all the better people, all the Amram out people next season, because you're just like Sal. I believe we're going to surprise a lot of people. Big up, LT. Big up. Sorry for your lost Step. Absolutely. Sorry for your lost Step. It is, you know, it's a sad time. You know, life, every single one of us, we suffer adversity. And that one thing about adversity, you know, we all suffer it, every single one of us. We're going to get it at some point. So, you know what? Just be good to each other, guys. And what I would say is glory, glory, Man United. Have a great day, everyone. Great evening, great night, wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to put your notifications on because I will be going live. If anything happens, I will be going live. Don't forget. And don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. We're on 11,000 subscribers. Thank you. On the way to 20,000. Let's do this, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, guys. Have a great day, great night, great morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Stretford Post and Chatterbox. See you through the window. Take it easy. Peace.